Hi Year 6 and welcome to Maths Home Learning. And it's Tuesday today and we've only got 4 more days of our home learning to go, and Mr. Hatton's on the countdown and can't wait to see you all. So this week we're doing statistics, and we mentioned, and I'm going to actually write that word down again, we mentioned, well actually statistics is a way that we record data, isn't it? Statistics is a way that we can record data, and we can record data using statistics in lots of different ways. We can put down percentages, we can do pie charts, we can do line graphs, we can do bar graphs, and we listed loads of ways that we can present data. But what we've been focusing on yesterday and also today is line graphs, and we realised yesterday that line graphs is how we measure something over a period of time, and so we've been learning all about line graphs. And today we're going to continue, and today we're going to learn to draw line graphs. So today we're going to be working on drawing line graphs. So the first thing we're going to think about was, well, on a line graph I have to label two things: the x-axis and the y-axis. And I know that the horizontal line is my x-axis, and I know that the vertical line is my y-axis. And then I need to think, well, actually, what goes on my x-axis? And I know actually that it's always going to be, or mainly always going to be, the time, especially for a line graph. So it's going to be my period of time. What am I measuring, and the period of time I'm measuring it over it. So the first thing I've here, and actually, what am I measuring over? Well, 3, 5, 7, 9, well, time of day is what I'm really measuring there. It's not hours because it's every 2 hours, so it's just times of the day. And I'm going to start at 3 p.m. And that's going to be my first time, as we can see down here, 3 p.m. Now I'm going to try and put my 5 p.m. and I'm going to do that 2 spaces over to leave a nice gap. So 5 p.m. Then I've got 7 p.m. so I'm going to put 7 p.m. on. And then finally I've got 9 p.m. and that's going to go there, isn't it? So, and I'm just going to mark that out so I know exactly where each step is. And 3 is going to be at the start, isn't it? So 3 p.m, 5 p.m, 7 p.m, and 9 p.m. And that's my x-axis labelled, so I can give that a big tick because I've done the x-axis and I know it represents the time of the day. And then finally, I need to, well, represent my data. So I need to represent my next part. So here you can see that I've represented the x-axis nice and neatly, and now I need to do the y. And actually I'm going to make that neater than that, so I'm going to write a nice x there. And now I need to do my y-axis, and that's quite important as well, isn't it? Because my y-axis is actually going to show how hot something is, and we can see here that I've got lots of degrees. And I know that I actually need to go up to 15 degrees. So what could I go up in degrees each time? Well, I could go up in 5. So I'm going to start at 0. So I'm going to write 0 down the bottom. And then I can go up to 5. And then I go up to 10. So I'm going up in 5s each time. And then I go up to 15. And then finally I'm going to go up to 20, even though I might not need it. And then here, well here actually I should have labelled my x-axis. So my x-axis shows that I'm dealing in hours of the day. And what was my y-axis showing? Oh yeah, it's showing how hot something was. So it's showing temperature, because we know we measure temperature in degrees. And each time it's really important that we label that x and that y-axis. So at 3 p.m, what was the temperature? Well, I know at 3 p.m, my temperature was 15 degrees. So I'm going to mark that out, and I'm going to just mark it in red so we can see. So 3 p.m, my temperature is 15 degrees. And then at 5 p.m, well, actually it's just dropped ever so slightly to 14 degrees. And I'm going to mark that one there. And then at 7 p.m, oh, it's really dropped. It's dropped to 8 degrees. And I know that, well, 7 p.m, is 8 degrees. I know 5 and 10, well, 8 is going to be roughly in the middle, just over halfway, so I'm going to put that one there. And then finally, 4 degrees. So not at 9 p.m. it's 4 degrees. And if I go up, 5 degrees is up here, so I've got to go down a little bit from 5 degrees to mark out 4 degrees. And then for my line graph, what do I need to do? Well, actually, I need to draw the lines. And what I do is I make sure I draw a straight line between each dot using a ruler. And that marks out my line graph. And as you can see, I've marked it all, and my line graph is steadily going down, representing the temperature over the hours of the day. And there we go. I've really marked out my time quite appropriately. So, and as you can see, I've done it here as well. I've done the time and I've plotted out each section for myself. A couple of things you need to remember is actually when you are plotting them, make sure you're being really accurate. So make sure that when you're reading, at 3 p.m. it's 15 degrees, you're making sure you're going up from 3 p.m. and you're following your line up until you get to that 15 degrees. Make sure that when you read 5 p.m. 14 degrees, you're going all the way up. You realise that you can't go up to 15. 14 is just underneath, and then you're going to mark that point down there. So you need to mark your points really, really accurately on the chart each time and draw your line graph. So I want you to go away now and I want you to have a go at the worksheets. You need to know that you need to set out your x-axis, and you need to set out your y-axis over here. And your x-axis is always going to equal the time. And your y-axis is always going to be the thing you're measuring. And then you need to make sure that you go up appropriately on the thing you're measuring. So if you have to go up in 5s or 10s or 20s or 1000s, you'll have to decide and make sure you mark the time appropriately as well. But you will be given all the data to plot, and then you just need to go ahead and draw it out or put it down on the paper. And quickly before you go, let's just have a look at this question. So here's graph A and graph B. And here it said Terrell hiked 10 miles on Sunday, then 8 miles on Monday, 9 miles on Tuesday, 8 miles on Wednesday, 6 miles on Thursday, and 6 miles on Friday. So which graph represents my data correctly? Well, 10 miles on Sunday. So these are both start off correctly. They're both correct. They both say 10 for Sunday, don't they? Then on Monday it said 8 miles. So, well, that one's correct. But this one said they only did 6 miles on Sunday. So we can already count out that this graph is wrong. And let's check this one. Well, then they said on Tuesday he's hiked 9 miles. That's correct. And then on 8 miles on Wednesday. Well, that's also correct. Wednesday up to 8 miles. And then 6 miles on Thursday, 6 miles, and then 6 miles on Friday as well. So we can see that actually he's correct. I should have used a ruler to draw these lines, but we can see that actually this one has a tick. So graph A would be correct. So you need to go away and you need to draw those line graphs that we've just looked at today. And you need to remember those following things. The y-axis, the x-axis, represents time, the y-axis represents the thing you're measuring, and to plot your points really, really neatly. So go away now, have a go at the worksheet, and upload your work to Dojo.